Welcome to episode 16 of News for the Blues, your bite-sized news show brought to you by the Unholy Trinity Everton podcast. Back on, what are we now, 2 days out from the first ever Merseyside Derby at Hill Dickinson Stadium. And it's fair to say a lot of excitement has been building over the last, since Monday really, after we played the game of the weekend against Brentford and got that decent point at the end. Obviously with a stoppage time equaliser. All eyes have been on the Merseyside Derby for ourselves, and as the week's gone on, it's certainly the excitement is definitely building, and we go into the game in decent form, don't we? And I think a lot of Evertonians, a lot of probably neutrals see it as a big opportunity for us to go and win the game. Obviously, not as simple as that. We know how these things have gone in the past as well. But look back to those last two Merseyside derbies at Goodison Park. Obviously, we got the draw last season, which was a decent draw with James Tarkowski scoring that equaliser in stoppage time. Obviously, we've got the 2-0 win previous to that as well. So, in terms of form at home, we've certainly turned the corner as well with the two wins against Burnley and Chelsea. And we should be feeling quite good about ourselves. But like I say, Merseyside derby, never easy. It doesn't matter what kind of form they're in. Doesn't matter where they are in the table. What's happened to them in Europe and other cup competitions. It's tricky nonetheless. But again, reference to the shirt. I've kept the same shirt from last week because although I'm not superstitious, I am superstitious. And we had that shirt on display for this show last week. I've turned it round. We got that draw, that stoppage time equaliser. So I'm seeing it as a bit of a lucky shirt for the time being. So we've kept it on there, the 25-26 home shirt. Obviously, David Moyes just spoke to the press. The latest is in regards to injuries. Clean bill of health, other than obviously, as we know, Jack Grealish. Charlie Alcaraz was pictured in training a couple of days ago. He said he's back in full training. Could be in and around it on Sunday, which is great to have him back involved. Suffered a few little injuries, hasn't he, this season? Hasn't really got going. So interesting to see what he can do between now and the end of the season. The manager was asked obviously about the Merseyside derby and his thoughts going into the game. The stadium obviously is always a big talking point, and the fact that we've now hit a bit of form there after a difficult start. He said obviously we're now enjoying life at the Hill Dicky, as he called it in the press conference, and we have turned a bit of a corner, and obviously 3 games left there this season, 3 big games against Liverpool, Manchester City and Sunderland will go a long way to determining probably where we finish this season. But no, he said that looking forward to it. Is catching Liverpool a factor? He said, we're looking to draw in any sides that are above us, really. Who can we catch? As well as trying to keep those behind us at bay, because there's plenty of those sides who can overtake us if we drop points or lose the game. I think Everton can go down to 11th if things go against us this weekend. So it shows you how tightly packed things are. But he said, we are obviously looking at Brentford above us. Can we get above them? And keep on picking up points if we want to get European football. That's what you've got to do. And the European question always comes up, doesn't it? But he said, that in terms of the derby itself, if somebody asked about is it important that Everton start the game well and not get sort of drawn in or sidetracked by the hustle and bustle of a Merseyside derby, and the manager said, well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Having those individual battles, I suppose, and the hustle and bustle, as the journalist termed it, it's something which comes with the territory, but it's how we console things. Can we console things? Can we make it hostile and horrible for them on the pitch, as well as off the pitch as well? Because we've got a responsibility as a fan base to do our part. And obviously everyone will have seen and would have thought in the last 24 hours or so how much the leaking of a photograph of the tifo, which is going to be displayed on Sunday, how much that's ruffled a few feathers in the Liverpool camp, which is a bit strange. But listen, it's our home. it's up to us to make the home advantage count. And we do what we need to do, coach welcome included. Obviously, that's planned for Sunday. Pretty sure it's going to start in and around 12 o'clock. It's from Bar Coast at the further up Regent Road, as opposed to the other end. So approaching from there. So get yourselves down there early. Obviously, make sure the lads know we're behind them, which I'm sure we will. We had a bit of a practice run against Chelsea, which was really, really good. I think this one's going to be on another level, really, to be honest with you. So that's planned, obviously. As I say, the big tifo, which was sadly leaked. Obviously, this is the way of the world, unfortunately. But the design looks incredible. Great work from the 1878 yet again. People forget, I think, sometimes that they put their own time into this. It's not a case of anyone getting paid. That they're going to work every day, then they're going down there to sort things out as well, and put out things on people's seats and sort these kind of things out and do practice runs. Listen, they put a lot of work into these sort of 5 or 10 minutes prior to kick-off. But they have asked if people can get in the seats about 20 minutes before kick-off. Let's rip the place up a little bit. Let's make them well aware of where they are, whose house they're in, and the fact that, listen, we're there to try and win a game of football, and we're there to try and catch them. There's a bit of talk that they did request for this the tunnel to be brought out. The tunnel, which I think when we first saw it before the Brighton game, Everton fans sort of scratched their head and thought, what's this pull-out thing that you've got on display? That went missing. We never saw it again. Apparently it is back. How true it is, I don't know. I have seen a couple of photographs. One looked like it was AI. There was a video from, I think, yesterday where you can see it. How true it is, I don't know. Apparently Liverpool cited safety fears. No comment. So yeah, interesting. I think the fact that, we are upsetting people, 48, 72 hours before a game of football. But it's important for both sides, this game. If we've got ambitions of European football, then this is the kind of game you've got to win. It's a side that's 5 points ahead of you. Take away the fact that there are our nearest rivals and who they are. It's a game where you've got a chance of closing the gap between us and them to 2 points. We've got to try and look at those clubs above us and try and catch them. Champions League goes down to 5th place. I'm not saying, by the way, in any stretch of the imagination, Everton will be getting Champions League football. But the point is, there are things to aim for this season. 6 games to go. The manager said this, we've got 6 games to go. It's great to be in a position where we are. We've got things to fight for. We're not fighting the bottom end of the table. We're not going to a final game decided to stay in the Premier League. So those kind of things should not be celebrated. We're looking in the right direction. So listen, big game. Important, as I say, that we play our part in, and I'm sure I will. And David Murray said the plans that are in place again, absolutely brilliant. The work the 1878 do, and he said that there's probably a need to rebuild some relationships at the club with obviously certain supporters after what's gone on in recent times. So the players, the Chelsea game, all the scenes before then, the players were delighted with that. I'm sure it'll be, as I say, listen, it'll be that, but much bigger come Sunday. Well, the manager was also asked as well about Leighton Baines and Seamus Coleman, because I'm not sure if people have seen this. It came out in the week that Leighton Baines and Seamus Coleman went to see the manager, basically to ask him to come and take over the football club when Sean Dyche has left, and convinced him. They were the two that really pushed him over and got him back to the football club. Obviously, it shows the strength of the relationship that he's got with them too, but also shows the respect that former players have for him, and the fact that it was probably Seamus Coleman more so because he was picking up a lot of the flack and he was dealing with a hell of a lot with the football club. He's always been that motivator and that driving force in the changing room. And he's had a difficult few years, whether it be from, obviously, a personal perspective through injuries, some really serious injuries, but also the fact that he's always been the one who's had to try and drag the football club through as well. So that was nice to hear, nice to see. Obviously, the manager is very fond of both of them. A couple of fabulous players, as we know. But I thought that was quite an interesting thing. The fact that they took it upon themselves to go and speak to them and say, listen, come back. And so far, it's worked out pretty well, really, hasn't it? Compared, look at where we were, look at how we got us over the line last season quite comfortably, and look at where we are now. Big chance of doing something really, really special this season. A couple of questions in regards to a couple of players. Beto again came up in terms of his form, which is really good. I think he scored 4 in his last 5, and I think it's 5 goal involvements if you include that assist for Njai against Chelsea in his last 5 matches. The man obviously repeating that he does obviously works really hard. He's got a fantastic attitude, and obviously he's reaping those rewards again. And Keenan Dewsbury-Hall as well, also mentioned in terms of his first season at the football club and how well he's done. And maybe when he first came in, Jack Grealish sort of took the attention away from Dewsbury-Hall, which wasn't a bad thing according to the manager. He said obviously the pressure was then off Dewsbury-Hall a little bit because all eyes were on Jack Grealish, but hasn't he done well for his first season? He's now one of the first names on the team sheet. He's pivotal to how we play. I think he's now got 7 goals, 10 goal involvements. Not a bad first season considering he missed obviously 6 or 7 weeks as well in regards to injury. He's missed the game through suspension. Don't think he's done super bad really, has he? I think we all would have settled for that. And listen, still more to come. 6 games to go. Let's see what he can do in those 6 games as well. And that was pretty much about it. The manager was also asked a quick question about his potential signing of a new contract. He said he's got no time for those kind of thoughts at this moment because obviously he's busy with what's going on for the final 6 games. There's been a bit of talk that the owners are keen to extend the manager's contract. We'll probably see what happens over the summer in regards to that. But that's about it. As I say, all eyes now are on the game on Sunday. Get yourselves down there if you've got the time, obviously before the game, to support the lads. Make sure they know, as I say, that we're all backing them. I know it's going to be loud before the game Sunday. I know it's going to be loud during the game. And the players hopefully can feed off ourselves and give us a good performance and get us a decent result. 1 point wouldn't be too bad. 3 points would be absolutely massive. And listen, why not? Of course we can. We've proven it this season already against certain sides that are historically seen as a top 4, top 5 side. What we can do against them. So looking forward to it. That's always a little bit nerve-wracking, isn't it, when you sit there and you say looking forward to a Merseyside derby. But I am. Why shouldn't we? Again, we've been saying this all season. We should enjoy the season. After what we've been through, we should be enjoying these seasons. We may end up with no European football and a mid-table finish. It may end up with European football at the top table of football. Who knows? We can all dream, can't we? But we should be enjoying it. We should be enjoying these battles. They've got problems. They've got a disconnect between manager, players, supporters. They've got injuries all over the place. It's up to us to turn up on Sunday and show them, listen, you're going to be in a game and we're going to come and we're going to try and take 3 points. But exciting times. Looking forward to getting down there. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you missed last weekend's episode, obviously the post-Brentford podcast episode 306, that looks ahead to the Merseyside derby in a bit more detail as well. So check that one out on Spotify, iTunes, all your podcast platforms. And we'll be back ourselves after the Merseyside derby to hopefully be discussing a positive result in the first ever Merseyside derby at Hill Dickinson Stadium. We will catch you then.